great decision. But there are some things you need to know before you go for buying one. Today, we are going to talk about 10 things you need to know before buying an Asian Arowana. Before we get started, it's time where we want to announce the winner of the contest that I was running, in which you could win a gift voucher from Aqua Wonders for 10% discount on any of their products. And the winner is Abhishek Bhalera. He has not only followed me on Instagram, he's also significantly contributed in terms of comments on my previous few videos. So congratulations, Abhishek, for being the winner for the first ever contest that's been run on this channel. And as a gesture of appreciation, what I have decided to do is, so if you remember, the contest was for 10% off up to 100 rupees for anything that you purchase from Aqua Wonders. So I'm bumping that up because I'm really happy that at least somebody took the initiative and thought it was worthwhile to take part in the contest. I'm going to give you a gift voucher worth 500 rupees from Aqua Wonders, and you can buy anything that you want. So congratulations to you once again, and please continue participating in all the other contests that I put in. Now, as far as all the other contests are concerned, let's talk about the next one that's coming up. But before that, guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then please go ahead and subscribe to it. Okay, let's talk about the hunt for the best Arowana in India. I want to run that contest in April. As promised, I want to give you a few more details of that contest. There are going to be a total of 7 categories in this contest, and it is open to everybody in India. Okay, the first category is going to be that of silver Arowanas. So anything silver, even albino silvers, blacks, all of that go into one category. Then we are going to have 3 broad categories divided into subcategories. So we've got the category of golden Arowanas, in which we are going to have certain subcategories, which are going to be RTGs and highbacks in one category, crossbacks and golden heads in one category, and blue base in the third category. Under the reds category, we are going to have the subcategories of chili red, super chili red as one category, and super reds as the second category under red. And we are going to have one category of exotics. So that's a total of 7 different categories. And the winner of each of these categories will get a 3,000 rupees gift voucher from Lifestyle Aqua, for you to go and buy anything from Lifestyle Aqua and get a straight 3,000 rupees discount on whatever you buy. And one grand winner out of all of these categories will win an Asian Arowana. Very soon in one of my future videos, I'm going to actually show you the Arowana that I'm going to give away. So that's the contest. I hope all of you guys are excited enough to take part in that contest. Please ensure that we all put together our hearts and souls and make that a success. While this is for Indian audiences only, for my international audience, especially for my audience in Malaysia, a very similar contest is going to start shortly in Malaysia. I'm going to come back with the dates for you guys. While there won't be any gift vouchers in that contest, however, there's going to be one grand winner, and I'm going to give away one Arowana to a winner in Malaysia. So stay tuned for that as well. Right, so enough of contests and everything. Let's get started with what we wanted to talk about. Top 10 things you need to know before buying an Asian Arowana. First and foremost, an Asian Arowana can grow really big. 2.5 to 3 feet is what most people say. So if you have an aquarium fish which grows up to 2.5 to 3 feet, imagine the size of the fish tank that you will need. While a lot of websites have said, well, you could have a 4 feet tank and keep a 3 feet Arowana in there, I don't think it's fair. Imagine, the guy won't even have room to swim around or move around. So in my opinion, and I've read in a few places, the standard dimensions of the tank should be at least 3 times the size of the Arowana. So we are easily looking at a tank which is 8 to 9 feet. So before buying an Asian Arowana, we need to understand that we need a lot of space for that tank. So it should not be a case where you buy an Asian Arowana which is probably 8, 9 or 10 inch, because that's mostly the size at which the sellers sell it to us. Very soon you'll realize that the 3 feet or the 4 feet tank that you have is no longer the most ideal place for your beloved pet. So keep that in mind, that you need a lot of space before buying an Asian arowana. The second one, Asian arowanas need lights. Well, a lot of you will disagree and say, oh, well, I keep my arowana without lights. Good for you if you keep your arowanas without lights. But all over the world, most farms, I say, not all farms, have said you need to put the lights to make sure your fish look beautiful. And I've also realized that not only golden heads or crossbacks need the lights for longer periods of time, but even super heads need a lot of tanning light. So a lot of lights, lot of electricity bill. That's the second thing that you need to keep in mind. When you have an Asian arowana, you need to have long hours of lots of light and lots of electricity bills. So what happens, guys, if you have a lot of lights in your tank and it's wet, a lot of light, wet, algae, you're gonna have a lot of algae. So in one of my videos, I have shown in Facebook how bad the algae was in my tank. It had totally turned green. Of course, not the water, but the glass. You could have a UV sterilizer in there, but that would only keep the water clear. But the glasses will still be green. So a lot of algae, and you have to keep cleaning that over and over and over again. So with a great filtration system, while you could probably put off your tank cleaning for longer periods of time if you did not have so much lights, but with lights, with the algae, you got to clean it every single week, maybe even sooner, and a lot of scrubbing has to be done. So be prepared to give enough time to scrub that algae every single time you clean your tank. Arowanas look beautiful. They don't need plants, they don't need substrate. They're just majestic creatures. That's a benefit, no doubt about it. It's the most graceful swimming tropical fish that I have seen, at least. However, when you put it in a white tank, if it's a golden head, or you put it in a darker tank like a blue or a black background tank, if it's a red, well, nowadays even people say that even red arowanas should go in a white tank. They look very clinical. To me, it looks like a hospital room, white all around with white lights in it with one fish swimming around. While the fish is beautiful, but the tank looks clinical. I mean, compare that to a planted tank. They look beautiful, right? So keep that in mind. You are not going to put in any decorations in there because obviously it's not safe for your arowana. And especially it's such a big fish, you want to give all of the real estate inside the tank to the fish and not to some decorations in there. So big clinical looking tanks for your arowanas. One of my biggest pet peeves with this fish has been its eating habits. And I have made a video on that how difficult is it to feed them. I've struggled all throughout. You know, they say arowanas could go for weeks or months even without eating. Now, why is a pet peeve for me? Because arowanas are not dogs whom you can cuddle and hug because that's the way you interact with dogs or maybe even cats. But you cannot interact with a fish that way. The one time that an owner really interacts with their fish is when they're feeding them. Imagine your fish doesn't even eat. They just spit out the food. It's not the most pretty sight, and I've seen arowanas do that a lot. They don't eat pellets, sometimes they will stop eating market prawns. They are one of the most finicky eaters that at least I've come across in the fish keeping hobby. I've kept a lot of fish for many years, and for a lot of people who doesn't know, I've been keeping fish from about 1995 when I was in my 10th standard. 25 years of fish keeping. Arowana I've probably been keeping for 2 or 3 years, and I can tell you this is the most finicky eater. So if you are a person who likes to interact with your fish during eating, be prepared that sometimes your arowana could go for days or months without eating and there won't be any interaction between you and your fish. The next thing is around tank mates. So with arowanas, you have to be extremely careful about the kind of tank mates you want. You have to strike the right balance. Because I have noticed if you put small, docile tank mates, they're going to get eaten up. Anything that fits in its mouth is going to eat because it's a carnivorous fish. Something which is very aggressive will in turn beat up your arowana. So you need to find tank mates which are very suitable, which are big enough, not too aggressive, and could coexist peacefully with the dragonfish. I'm happy to make another video separately just on the kind of tank mates you should have for your arowanas. Let me know in the comment section if you'd like to see a video on that. I have had a very bad experience as well. So I have a lovely flagtail which is around 7 to 8 inches, and I kept that with my Sing arowana, and they say flagtails are great tank mates as far as arowanas are concerned. But there used to be a war in my tank. There would be times when the arowana would beat up the flagtail and its fins would get torn, its scales would be taken off. And at other times, I would see the flagtail bothering the arowana. So I didn't know who's aggressive and what are they up to. So there could be times when the most ideal tank mates may not work for arowanas. Of course, it goes with all other fish as well. However, specifically with arowanas, you have the fear of the tank mates being eaten up as well. So be careful with the tank mates. You need to think about what kind of tank mates you want to put with your arowana before buying one. I absolutely love flower horns. I've kept flower horns for a very, very long time. And one of the things that I love about them is that their interactivity. They're aggressive, but there's some sort of interaction that happens. They are like dogs inside an aquarium, puppies inside an aquarium. And that is what I look for in every fish. And that is what I have not found in an arowana. I've kept about 9 arowanas. I could list the names of all of them. And I have never really had one which was interactive up until the one that I have now. In one of my Facebook videos, I did show that it was being interactive and following my hand and all of those. But after 8 or 9 arowanas, you come across one which is at the moment interactive. I don't know what's going to happen to it tomorrow. But that's a bit crazy, I feel, in my opinion. I love interactive fish, and arowana surely, in my opinion, is not one of them. Or at least I've not come across many, and I've kept quite a few. So keep that in mind before having an arowana, that don't expect a lot of interaction with them. Arowanas have beautiful scales, right? Whether it's the gold or the red. But they jump. One jump and they're going to drop their scale. If it's a hard one. And they're going to take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, long periods of time for the scale to come back. They are jumpers. You have to be extremely careful. It's not just about losing the scale. You have to also ensure that your lid is very strong and something has been kept above it to ensure that they don't jump out of the tanks. I have heard stories, unfortunate stories, of so many arowana owners losing their arowanas to them jumping out of the tank. So they are jumpers. Keep that in mind. And every time they jump, they become more stressed. They become more skittish. They stop eating. They stop interacting. That's the story of the fish through and through. I have had my share of jumpers. I've tried to keep the water qualities well so that there's not much of jumping happening at the moment, but they are jumpers, remember that. The last ones are a bit of interconnected rather. Once an arowana keeper, you'll always be an arowana keeper. It's addictive. You want to buy one after the other, and more than that. You want to keep upgrading. It's like a mobile phone. You buy one phone, then you upgrade that, and you upgrade to a higher RAM phone, your higher processor phone, or a laptop, or whatever. Similarly, you want to buy an RTG, then a high back, then a cross back, then a golden head, then a cross belly, then a super king, and so on and so forth. And they are very expensive. Not only will the electricity bill burn a hole in your pocket, but at the same time, the cost of arowanas will also burn a hole in your pocket. I mean, even the cheapest ones. Come on, even if you were to get a golden head for just 25,000 rupees, it's 25,000 rupees. It's not a joke. There was a time we used to buy fish for 500 rupees, 100 rupees, 20 rupees, goldfish. That's the aquarium hobby I know of. I used to buy flower horns for 1500, 1800. Now we're talking about 25,000 rupees for an arowana, and that's considered cheap because it's a golden head. So arowanas are expensive. The hobby is an expensive hobby. So these are the 10 things that you need to keep in mind before buying an arowana. But having said that, I do want to add that they're truly addictive. They are majestic creatures. They are the best in the aquarium hobby. If you are a fish keeper, then you must experience the joy of having an Asian arowana once in your lifetime, because they are the most beautiful tropical fish ever. I don't want to discourage you guys from buying an arowana. I think you should buy one, but keep in mind all of these 10 things. Don't get addicted to it. Don't run behind the more expensive ones. I am guilty of doing that, and I'm telling you, don't run behind it. Even the most low-cost arowanas are beautiful and they are majestic. They're brilliant creatures, and you must have that once in your lifetime if you are a fish keeping hobbyist. Right? So guys, I want to bring a lot more of these kind of videos to you guys, and based on the research that I do, and I love talking to you guys about these things. But I really need you guys to subscribe to my channel. And if you guys haven't already subscribed to my channel, then please go ahead and subscribe. And if you liked this video, then please go ahead and hit the like button. That's about it for this one. Till I come back in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.